Jesus' statement is profound. It teaches us that not all suffering is the result of something we've done wrong. Instead, some situations exist so that God's power can be revealed in extraordinary ways. In the case of the blind man, his condition allowed him to become a living testimony of Jesus' transformative power. Following this conversation, Jesus performed a miracle that completely changed the man's life. He spit on the ground, made mud with the saliva, applied it to the man's eyes, and told him to go wash in the pool of Siloam. When the man obeyed, he returned with his sight restored. This miracle not only restored the man's physical vision, but also revealed the spiritual purpose behind his blindness. His life was transformed to glorify God, and his story continues to impact millions of people to this day. Another remarkable example that highlights divine purpose is the story of Lazarus, recounted in John 11. When Lazarus, a close friend of Jesus, fell gravely ill, his sisters Martha and Mary sent an urgent message to Jesus asking him to come help. However, contrary to expectations, Jesus deliberately stayed where he was for 2 more days before going to Lazarus's home. During that time, Lazarus died, and many could interpret Jesus' delay as neglect or a lack of love. Yet upon arriving at Lazarus' home, Jesus revealed the greater purpose behind his delay. He said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." John 11:4. What seemed like an irreparable tragedy transformed into one of the greatest demonstrations of God's power. Jesus called Lazarus back to life, proving that even death is subject to God's will, and that he can transform any situation to reveal his glory. These events are just a few examples of how Jesus continually teaches us that life is not a series of coincidences. Every detail, every encounter, and every difficulty are interwoven into the divine purpose. The Gospels are filled with stories that reflect this truth. When Jesus met the Samaritan woman at the well, as described in John 4, it seemed like a casual encounter. However, that moment was divinely orchestrated to transform the woman's life and that of her entire community. Jesus revealed profound truths about her life and presented himself as the Messiah, leading the woman to testify to her fellow villagers who also came to believe in Christ.